Hey everybody, it's Jeremy, and welcome back to another episode of Dragon Ball Super Trading Card Game Purge. Now, I know I really didn't get to cover much of the Purge in detail. We did have our Purge event today, so I didn't really get to cover as much as I would like, but I did want to give the opportunity to talk about the deck that I ran and also have a video place where you guys can kind of ask about the other decks and if you have any questions about it. Um, it was pretty fun. So, the people who don't know what the Purge is we as a play group for Dragon Ball here have a night, well, at least once a year. They like doing it twice sometimes, but at least in October, where we just kind of let everything go, like everything that is unbanned, everything that is back to its pre-errata, cards limited to one or back to four of, makes it just a crazy format and fun for people who just want to try to bust the game open. Um, but anyways, I wanted to go over my deck. I didn't do too hot, but I thought it was a really fun deck to play. It's pretty much a glass cannon, but I'll show you to you guys here. Just give me just a second. Okay, so I know it's not the best setup, but I wanted to at least get it to where you guys can see the deck. So the leader that I ran was Salt of the Saiyans, I believe, was Sun Gohan. Pretty much this leader says Auto Burst 2. Um, make sure I got the reading on this correctly. Choose one card in your life and add it to your hand. If your opponent has 5 or more life, deal 1 damage to your opponent. So it's just a static. Um, just I burst 2 and I take a life, you take a life. So I'm already putting on pressure at the beginning of the game. And this even breaks first turn immunity. Bring it up a little bit closer so you guys can kind of take a look at it. It's nothing super, great on the front side or back. Nothing fully. Um, it breaks first turn immunity. You can do that first turn and deal damage to your opponent. So, of course, I built this deck with aggro in mind. Of course, when it awakens, it just draws 2 cards. When it's awakened side, sparking 5. When this card attacks, draw a card. And then when one of your battle cards activates Alliance, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 30,000 power or less and KO it. Didn't really worry about that part. And then active main once per turn, sparking 5. Choose 3 cards in your hand and place them in the drop area. Choose all of your red and green battle cards. Both of the chosen cards and this card get plus 10,000 power for the duration of the turn. So I did run a little bit of green in here, but that came in handy for some of the games. It puts a lot of pressure on, but my biggest problem is if I didn't finish the game when I triggered it, it wasn't that good. So let's go ahead and get into the actual deck here. The first, almost lost all the cards here. First 4 cards that I ran of, and these are banned. Is minus Keeley Zone. Now this card has been banned. I ran a 4 of them. Thinking about it now, I probably shouldn't have. But minus Keeley Zone says active main, send 3 cards from your drop area to the warp, draw a card, and your opponent may not activate counterplay skills for the duration of the turn. So this card was probably banned because the way the game was going in when this card was banned was having counterplay cards, and this card is poorly designed for that format. It was good in the format that it was in. It was definitely a sideboard card. I wanted a main board. Now, I probably wouldn't mainboard 4. I probably would actually not even mainboard these at all because everyone was prepared for this card. They, didn't even run unisons, I don't think. They just didn't even worry about counterplays. So, which is fun to see. I didn't have to worry about anything being bounced or it was pretty much just a display a bunch of cards. I did run negates, which I actually ended up not really using at all in this game hardly. I ran 4 after image. You get your sparking 5 pretty easy, and it's not really a negate. Well, it's not. It's a counter, but it says it doesn't negate the attack, but gives whatever card plus 40,000 for the turn and minus 10 to another card, your opponent's card. You get sparking pretty easy, but again, my turns didn't last very long, so I didn't use it a whole lot. So now we're getting to the meat of the deck here. I played 3 Saiyan Kaba. Was Kaba here, strikes a life and gains 10k in double strike on attack. And I also played 3 of the intensifying power trunks. So his is critical. I'd prefer him over it because I don't want them to have a bunch of cards in hand of Kaba because I'm not really, it draws a lot of cards, but at first, but I don't really have a lot of draw power after that. I played 3 Videl Gohan's partner. It's a 2-drop free play card if you're a leader, if you have a Sun Gohan Adolescence or Sun Gohan Adolescence in your leader or battle area. So he's just a free play. Now, again, another card I didn't really use a whole lot of, but it's a free play, and I'll explain as I go how important that was. I played technically 8 super combos. I played 4 Divine Aid Vados and 4 Raditz Saiyan Youth. The reason I was able to do that is because pre-errata from set 1, Divine Aid Autos doesn't even call it a super combo. It says when you combo with this card, if your leader card is red and your life is 4 less, draw a card and add 10,000 power to this card's combo for the duration of the turn. So it doesn't have super combo. Now the game is worded there. You can only have four copies of a super combo in your deck. So these don't have super combo pre-errata. The Raditz, on the other hand, actually does say super combo, and of course, the Raditz Saiyan Youth is a little bit newer. You put one at the bottom of the deck, and you draw 2, so more draw power. So I was able to run 8 super combos technically because of the wording. Played 3 of these, probably wouldn't. This Hidden Power E Supreme Kai, this is just a 10k combo to give your whatever card a double strike that you're attacking with. I played 4 of a band card, Mercenary Tau, an Equaled Assassin. He reads pretty much that if it says unique, and it says active main if your leader card is red and you have 3 or more non-token battle cards in play this card from your hand and it gains critical for the turn. So it's really good with another card with that red Videl, because if Videl isn't unique, you can play like 2 copies or 3 copies if you got them, and then play him for free. Or with another card that I have that you're going to see up here next, I played 4 Bodyguard Legic. It's an older card. Pretty much he's a free blocker if your opponent has battle cards in play and you do not. So in this format, I figured I would be able to actually use that a lot, which I actually didn't use him a lot. I would probably try to go 4 Videl, maybe 2 of him next time, but it was just a free play to get more gods on board to trigger the Mercenary Tau. Which is Mercenary Tau, again, it's also banned. There's another banned card. I played 3 Nigrishi from the Shadows. It is a 3-drop Universe 3 card, because I'm sure this is one of the reasons I really wanted to play the deck, because I had these cards and never really got to use them. But permanent, when this card is placed in the drop area from the battle area or combo area, is placed in the bottom of the deck, bottom of the deck instead. It says active main, choose one of your black battle cards, the energy cost of 3, and send it to its owner's warp. Play this card from the drop area. So it warps a card. So it hits the next card that I got coming out here, which I played for, which is another banned card. You've seen a recurring theme. Is Bark the Resolute. Really, really good card in this deck. That's 15k double strike, restains itself and my opponent negates. So he triggers off like the critical Trunks, or he actually triggers off the leader effect of like, I take a life, you take a life, and he comes out and he's played. So he was really good, so I can get him out and then play Nigrishi off of him if he's in the drop area. I play 3 Bardock Awakening Instincts. He's a free Overwhelm, well, technically not free. He had to have 4 cards in the drop area, but 4 Overwhelm, 4, no energy. Just a 20k. This is auto when you play this card using with Overwhelm, draw 2 cards, and then choose 1 card in your hand and place it in your drop area. So if I have this next card in hand, I'm definitely placing in the drop area. And that is Vira, Everlasting Assault, which is the 4-drop robot from the same chain, the U3 chain. His pretty much reads just like Nigrishi, only he gets a 4-drop. So you overwhelm with this card, draw 2 cards, you got this card in hand, you put in the drop area, swing, warp him, get him out, swing. So it's just more and more pressure. And then finally, I played 4 of Belmod Double Devastation. This card here, you just sack 3 battle cards, and you get to play him out and KO a battle card. So pretty much turns would look like some turn. Let's see if I can kind of simulate this a little bit. So let's say my opponent has like battle cards out or whatever, they did their thing, and I'm like, okay, well, you got a battle card out, so I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of simulating this for you. Auto play Bodyguard's Legic for free. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna drop these two. Vidal Gohan's partners for free. And then now that I've got 3 or more battle cards in play that are red, free, you see, I'm going to burst 2, take a life, you're going to take a life. And when I do that, I'm going to play Bark this Resolute for free. Like, this is just without even paying any energy at this point. So I'm going to swing with all this stuff. If you negate something, we'll stand him back up, swing. And then in the perfect world, I'll maybe even swing with this guy. Then I'm going to sack these 3. Play this, swing with this, KO a battle card if you got it out there. Then I'm going to, if I've got it in the drop area, which I really have to burst it, but if I do, sack him off to the warp, play him, swing. I got 3 cards on the drop area. I might combo another card away to get 4. You know, I mean, it's just really dumb. And then I would go, like, overwhelm this stuff. Here's Bardock. Draw 2 cards, put 1 in the drop area. What I got in hand? Well, I've got this in the hand. The Vara, drop him, swing here, warp him, play this, swing that, and I still haven't used any energy. Like, so now I can tap 1, and here comes, you know, Sand Kaba or Intensifying Powertron or whatever. So it is really just a fun thing to play. Is it fair? No. It's not. There's a reason why, like, these 4 right here are like banned. So, but it's really fun to play, and you gotta line it up just right. And it's not every. I've never really done it turn 1, but it is possible turn 1 if you just hit everything. But turn 2, it's very consistent. And but yeah, it's a really fun deck. I'll probably never play it again. I got my joy out of it. Playing that. Now you're probably thinking, now what would you sideboard against in Purge tonight? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I did build a sideboard, and it's just more band cards. It's not really more band cards, but it was like, okay, what am I possibly going to have to run into here? So the first thing I sideboarded, I had to because I knew Battering Laser was going to be a thing, and I hated that card when I first started playing. But Burning Slash, it's a newer card. But it says, counterattack, negate the attack permanent. This card's skills cannot be negated in any area. So I would, if I didn't run into it, thankfully. But if I ran into it, you know, you can't battery laser it. So there it is. Let's do this one next here. Try to keep them in energy order. Time control Chronoa. Pretty much her says is deflect, can be counterplayed. When this card is played, draw a card, and your opponent may not play battle cards from their hand with their skills of cards with super combo for the duration of the turn. So this is for Shigesh. And Shigesh was played. So it was Battle Release, but Shigesh was played. So I mainly just do that to stop that whole mess, because that was a terrible thing that I didn't want to deal with. Still a good card. It's still not banned. A lot of people are complaining about being banned. I don't want it to ever be banned. But Dark Power Black Masayan, played 3 of them. He pretty much kept me. This is kind of like the mirror match. If we're playing a bunch of free stuff, well, here it is. Or like Vajax, here he is. Play it and ditch your hand, I guess, if we're going to do it. So, there's that. The next 2 cards are absolutely banned. Mercenary Tau, Ruthless Trainer. A card that, now if you look at Cell Surge, people who don't like Cell Surge would love to have this card back. He's a 1 cost. If your opponent's leader card is green or yellow, reduce the energy cost of this card by 1. Auto once per turn. When this card in your hand is placed in the... When a card in your hand is placed in the drop area by one of your opponent's skills, your opponent chooses 3 cards in their hand and sends them to the warp. So, just... No one really had... I didn't really have to worry about that. No one really played it. And then this card, which was a huge good card in this format, Tien Shinhan, the Returning Fire. It's a 4 cost, but a 1 cost if my opponent is red or blue, which there was a lot of blue. Well, At least it seemed like there was a lot of blue. When you play this card, your opponent can't switch energy to active mode with non-awakened skills until the end of their opponent's next turn. So it just kept like I can play him out and then go to my chain and not worry about Being, which is a bad matchup for this thing. Being and Nimbus were terrible. But yeah, that's pretty much the deck. Yeah, let me get looking at you guys here. Hold on just a second. All right, guys. Thank you guys very much for watching the video. That was pretty much the deck list. Um, let me know what you think. It was really fun. Didn't really turn out the way I wanted to, but it's Purge. It's not, it is what it is. I figured there'd be some really degenerate decks, and there was. Some of the decks that were used. I'm trying to get my list here so I can kind of do it because I think I put the list in the Dragon Ball Super Discord chat. So let me look. I normally don't mess with my phone. I always mess with my phone on my videos, but sorry about that. Okay. So the decks were blue Hoodagon, so Storm, black Bibbidi, so the Boo Chain, blue Bojack, Vajex, so full power Vajex, Mecha Frieza, the OG uneroded Mecha Frieza, Son Goku Draft Box Leader, and Burnhan, which was mine. So if there's any decks that you would like to hear about or see or whatever, I can definitely talk about those in the comments or make another video if you really want to see those. Lost to Blue Hurtagon 2-1. It was pretty much just swinging wildly at each other, and then for Jax I got beat 2-0, which I could have ran Vajex, but I got to run Vajex near full power in an online tournament last year, and I really wanted to play as Burn-On, so I was excited to play that deck. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think of the deck. What would you run? What would you guys run in Purge Night? What would you run? I'd be interested to see. Maybe next time in April. I think it'll be the next one. So, let me know. What decks should I run? I was really leaning towards maybe this Burnhan, but with like Chain Attack Trunks with the 6-drop Bobbity that brings out 2 red battle cards with top of your deck. They're 25k power or less. So I thought about doing that one just to do it because I really like that chain. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.